comprehensive measures needed to address rising cost of living. Government outlines 2 focus areas to catalyse recovery of MSMEs. Hello and good evening. Thanks for joining us. You're watching News at 10. I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Semasa will chair the National Action Council on Cost of Living meeting on Thursday to discuss comprehensive measures to address the issue of the rising cost of living faced by the people. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Economy, Datuk Seri Mustafa Muhammad, said medium and long-term measures would be presented by the relevant ministries at the meeting. Among matters to be discussed include those related to the dependence on imports, cost of food inputs, foreign worker issues, subsidy schemes, grants and soft loans, financing, transportation and logistics, agricultural technology, as well as research and development.
Kerajaan amat prihatin tentang masalah yang dihadapi oleh rakyat berikutan kenaikan harga beberapa keperluan asas, khususnya bagi kumpulan B40 dan M40. Jabatan Perangkaan telah diarahkan supaya membuat pemantauan secara harian ke atas beberapa keperluan asas dan melaporkan trend perubahan kepada kerajaan.
Datuk Seri Mustafa said the government was aware that the prices of basic necessities, especially chicken, fish and several types of vegetables, had increased significantly of late, adding that the government was also very concerned about the problems faced by the people, especially the B40 and M40 groups following the price hikes. In a related development, the government has assured that the price of goods, especially those related to the agriculture sector, will stabilise in 2 weeks' time. This assurance was made after the government had begun importing various food-related items from overseas to cater for domestic demand. Deputy Agriculture and Food Industry Minister too, Dr. Nik Mohamad Zawawi Saleh, explained that the price hike are not only happening in Malaysia but all over the world due to the pandemic. Dr. Nik Mohamad Zawawi Saleh, Deputy Agriculture and Food Industry Minister too.
Disubsidikan beberapa barangan keperluan asas, terutama sekali pertanian, seperti harga baja, harga racun, begitu juga makanan-makanan ternakan haiwan, makanan kambing, lembu, ayam dan seumpamanya, telah pun dikeluarkan peruntukan subsidi. Jadi insya-Allah bekalan makanan ini apabila diimport nanti dia masuk ke Malaysia ini masuk sudah dengan harga subsidi.
Meanwhile, Minister of Agriculture and Food Industries Datuk Seri Dr. Rona Kiandi said people need not to worry about the halal status of imported chicken as the government will only obtain supplies from producers recognised by the Health Ministry and 2 agencies assigned to monitor the matter. He said the 2 agencies were the Department of Veterinary Services and the Islamic Development Department of Malaysia, JAKIM.
It shouldn't be. Kita dah mengimport ayam sejak sekian lama. Kita mengimport ayam daripada loji-loji yang diiktiraf oleh kerajaan. Who are these people? Who are the kerajaan? Kerajaan terdiri daripada pihak DVS, pihak Jabatan Agama, JAKIM dan juga Kementerian Kesihatan. Ada 3 agensi yang memantau dan juga mengeluarkan sijil pengiktirafan.
Datuk Seri Dr. Rono said the decision to import chicken was made to address the issue of supply shortage that has been going on over the past months. However, he said the initiative would only be carried out temporarily to ensure that supplies of chicken in the market are sufficient. The government has allowed companies to import frozen whole chicken from this month to February next year, including imports of up to 10,000 metric tons or 5.5 million chickens a month to cover shortages in chicken supply. Several short-term measures have already been taken to protect the well-being of the people, especially those affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, namely the B40 group. Deputy Minister in Prime Minister's Department Economy, Dato' Eden Shazli said the ministry also provides subsidies and incentives for the agriculture industry, food guarantee and commodity, and continue to do so with an allocation of 1.7 billion ringgit.
Dalam usaha untuk mengurangkan kebergantungan kepada kerajaan, khususnya bantuan tunai, kerajaan juga akan meningkatkan usaha untuk memperbanyakkan program-program kebajikan produktif supaya setiap isi rumah dapat meningkatkan kapasiti dan keupayaan bagi meningkatkan pendapatan dan seterusnya taraf hidup mereka secara mampan.
For the longer term, Dato' Eden said, under the 12 Malaysia plan, the government will also continue with its policy and strategies to help generate income and purchasing powers of the B40 household in rural and urban areas. He believed that this form of assistance would be much better in the longer term rather than have the people rely on cash aid from the government. National Unity Minister Datuk Halimah Muhammad Sadiq says there will be no Thaipusam procession next month as the country faces a threat from the Omicron variant. Telling this at the Dewan Rakyat, she also said the Chingay parade will also not be allowed, adding that the ministry has also prepared a list of SOPs for the festivals, including the coming Christmas celebration. In a reply to the initial question by Batu Gajah MP V. Sivakumar, Datuk Halimah explained that in the course of preparing the SOPs for Thaipusam, an engagement session was held with several Hindu religious leaders on 2nd December to gauge their views and obtain detailed information regarding religious activities and customs for Thaipusam. She said that representatives from the National Security Council (MKN) were also present, alongside those from the Ministry of Health (MOH), adding that she would be issuing the SOPs and a press statement once these were confirmed.
Semua keperluan cadangan SOP itu akan diangkat. Bukan kita yang luluskan, Yang Berhormat, kita akan angkat cadangan-cadangan itu ke mesyuarat berikut untuk kelulusan. Yang pertama, mesyuarat kumpulan kerja teknikal pengurusan pandemik yang akan difungsikan oleh Ketua Pengarah MKN yang dijangka akan bersidang pada 13 hari bulan Disember ini. Dan yang kedua, selepas itu akan diangkat pula kepada mesyuarat kuartet menteri yang difungsikan oleh Yang Berhormat Menteri Pertahanan yang dijangka akan diadakan mesyuaratnya pada 14 hari bulan Disember ini. Dan yang ketiga, dia ada 3 peringkat, Yang Berhormat. Dan kemudian yang terakhir akan dibawa kepada mesyuarat jawatankuasa khas pengurusan pandemik yang akan difungsikan oleh Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri yang dijangka akan mengadakan mesyuaratnya pada 15 Disember.
Coming up, government reconsiders plan for single 5G network. The government has outlined 2 main focus areas to accelerate the recovery of the micro, small and medium enterprises MSME. They must pursue innovation, digitalization and use of technology as well as inculcate sustainability principles comprising environment, social and governance ESG over the long term. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Semasa said various activities via e-commerce, including digital payments, distance learning, video conferencing and logistics services have become common in today's economy due to the increasing necessities and opportunities.
Pelbagai aktiviti menerusi e-dagang, termasuklah pembayaran secara digital, pembelajaran jarak jauh, persidangan video, serta perkhidmatan logistik merupakan perkara lazim di dalam ekonomi hari ini disebabkan oleh keperluan dan peluang yang semakin meningkat. Ini juga adalah antara usaha yang boleh membiasakan PMKS dalam era persaingan revolusi industri 4.0 dan kita dapat melihat bahawa kehadiran PMKS di atas talian telah meningkat 2 kali ganda daripada 35.3% yang dicatatkan pada tahun 2019 iaitu pra-Covid kepada 75.8% pada tahun 2021 pasca Covid.
The Cabinet will make the final decision on the single wholesale model for the rollout of 5G network by January 2022 after receiving feedback from telecommunication companies and industry players. Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa said the Cabinet was still discussing on whether to deploy 5G via a single wholesale network SWN system or have multiple systems to allow some competition. However, Tan Sri Anwar said for now, Digital Nasional Berhad DNB will continue with its plan of delivering 5G services via SWN, while the Cabinet seeks a second opinion or views from industry players on the matter.
So the two models now being discussed, we will look further into the advantage and disadvantage of each model, and government will come back with the final decision, hopefully by January.
DNB was established by the government in February to build and manage the 5G network. Tan Sri Anwar also noted that DNB was offering wholesale 5G services to all mobile network operators MNO in the country starting this month at no cost. He said the first phase of the offer was applicable for all 5G live sites that would be ready throughout Putrajaya, Cyberjaya and certain parts of Kuala Lumpur. By next year, the rollout will focus on other populated areas including in Pulau Pinang, Johor Bahru, Sabah and Sarawak as second phase. The Works Ministry is very particular on the safety aspect in the construction of the Sarawak-Pen Borneo Highway, which is now ongoing, following a report lodged on an incident which happened along the line of the highway. The Works Ministry had conducted inspections and identified several measures to improve things, especially from the aspect of Traffic Management Plan, TMP, and Road Safety Audit, RSA.
Prosedur-prosedur keselamatan berikut yang diguna pakai bagi memastikan keselamatan pengguna jalan raya semasa pelaksanaan projek Lebuhraya Pen Borneo Sarawak adalah: yang pertama, prosedur pelan pengurusan trafik atau Traffic Management Plan di tapak bina sepanjang pembinaan jalan raya berpandukan kepada piawaian arahan teknik daripada JKR. Yang kedua adalah Akta Keselamatan dan Kesihatan Pekerja 1994 daripada DOSH. Dan yang ketiga adalah Garis Panduan Keselamatan dan Kesihatan Pekerjaan Awam di tapak bina tahun 2007.
Elaborating further, the Deputy Minister said if any contractors fail to adhere to the safety procedures set by the Ministry, a stop work order will be issued immediately. Meanwhile, the Sarawak Public Works Department JKR will also continue to monitor the situation from time to time to ensure all implementation of the project follow the specifications, quality and safety of road users. The Malaysian Palm Oil Green Conservation Foundation MPOGCF had received allocations amounting to RM8.02 million up to July 2021. Deputy Minister of Plantation Industries and Commodities Datuk Sri Wee Jack Seng said the allocations are used to pay management costs and for programs and projects under the MPOGCF.
Oleh kerana pandemik COVID-19 sedikit sebanyak telah menjejaskan gerak kerja bagi projek dan program di bawah MPOGCF, dalam hal ini daripada jumlah peruntukan yang terima sebanyak RM726,078 telah dibelanjakan sehingga Ogos 2021 merangkumi projek berikut: Pembayai Wildlife Rescue Unit RM722,476, yakni RM472,476 pada tahun 2021 dan RM250,000 pada tahun 2020. Projek Konservasi Harimau Malaya RM3,602.
sports, Chang Ho to rotate players in tight AFF Cup schedule. (2020) AFF Suzuki Cup reigning champions Vietnam failed to impress but bagged the full 3 points regardless. Vietnam were made to work hard for the victory but nonetheless got their title defence off to a winning start as they saw off Laos 2-0 at Bishan Stadium in Singapore. Goals in either half from Nguyen Chong Phuong and Phan Van Duc were enough for Vietnam's side that also saw a second half penalty saved by the impressive Kyo Udon as Laos held their more fancied opponents in check for long spells of the match. Rising talent Nguyen Hoang Duc made several beautiful attempts but they lacked accuracy. Laos attacks mainly came from striker Billy Kakio Phomphone, who is playing for French club Dunkirk, but they also lacked power and accuracy. Vietnam's victory was expected given the two teams' big difference in FIFA ranking. Yet it served as a boost for Vietnamese players' mentality following a series of 7 losses at the World Cup qualifiers. The team's Korean coach Park Hang-seo wasn't getting carried away with the win as he prepares for further stern challenges in the group stage. Vietnam sit level on points with Malaysia atop Group B and have Thursday off before facing their fellow finalists from 2018 on Sunday, December 12th. Laos, meanwhile, will be hoping to pick up their first points of the tournament against the Malaysians on Thursday. Meanwhile, several national players may face new challenges of playing in different positions for the remainder of the AFF Suzuki Cup in Singapore. This is due to the head coach Tan Cheng Ho's strategy to rotate players to get through the tight schedule of group stage matches, apart from the lack of players after losing the services of 2 of his men who tested positive for COVID-19. 2 national players, goalkeeper Muhammad Khairul Azhar Muhammad Khalid and winger Muhammad Faiz Abdul Halim, were confirmed positive for COVID-19 after the results of the polymerase chain reaction PCR screening tests conducted at Changi International Airport last Friday. At the same time, the 53-year-old coach said the coaching staff was still in talks to replace Muhammad Khairul Azhar with another goalkeeper.
Ya, memang kami barisan jurulatih sedang berbincang mana goalkeeper yang kita akan bawa dan juga kita kena lihat sama ada pemain tersebut dah bersedia atau ada latihan, dan of course kita pun memang concern tentang posisi tersebut lah, kerana Apek dah dapat 1 kad kuning dan cuma yang standby goalkeeper yang ada sekarang Kalam lah ya. So itu sebablah itu yang menjadi kita kena cepat buat keputusan lah, dan kita harap dalam 1 hari 2 ni kita dapat replacement.
Malaysia will close out the Group B stage against Indonesia on 19 December, and Cheng Ho hopes that no more of his players will suffer the same fate or suffer serious injuries that could be a further blow to team strength. Alright, so that concludes this evening's news at 10. In our top story, comprehensive measures needed to address rising cost of living. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Stay tuned to saluran Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening.